What if the secret to ending your sleepless nights wasn't a pill or a gadget, but a simple ritual passed down through generations? Imagine lying down each night, not dreading the hours ahead, but knowing exactly how to calm your mind and body for deep, restorative sleep. Pause for a moment and picture this. A monk sits in a dimly lit room, the soft glow of a single candle casting shadows on the walls. His breathing is slow, deliberate, and steady. Outside, the world is chaotic, but inside, there's only peace. This wasn't always his reality. For years, he battled insomnia, just like millions of people today. His mind raced with thoughts of the past and worries about the future. He felt trapped in a cycle of exhaustion until he discovered an ancient practice that changed everything. Today, we're diving into his journey, not because it's extraordinary, but because it's profoundly relatable. These aren't complicated secrets or mystical rituals. They're simple truths that can transform the way you sleep and the way you live. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a step-by-step guide to creating your own bedtime ritual, one that honors your need for rest and helps you wake up feeling refreshed. Before we begin, though, I'd love for you to join our growing community of mindful seekers. If this idea resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss stories like this one, where ancient wisdom meets modern living. And if you're ready to take the first step toward better sleep, give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know you're here for more content like this. Now, let's start at the beginning. The moment this monk realized that the key to restful sleep wasn't out there somewhere, it was within him all along. The monk's story begins not with peace, but with restlessness. Night after night, he lay on his mat, staring at the ceiling of his small monastery room. His mind was a storm, thoughts swirling like leaves caught in a gust of wind. Memories of the day replayed endlessly. Worries about tomorrow loomed large. He tried everything: meditation, prayer, even herbal teas brewed from plants in the monastery garden. But nothing worked. One particularly difficult night, he sat up in frustration. "Why can't I find peace?" he asked himself. It was then that he noticed something, a faint flicker of light coming from the window. The moon, partially hidden behind clouds, cast a soft glow over the mountains. In that moment, he realized something profound. Nature didn't fight the darkness. It embraced it. The stillness of the night wasn't something to resist. It was something to surrender to. This realization planted a seed in his mind. What if his struggle with sleep wasn't about forcing himself to rest, but about creating the right conditions for rest to happen naturally? He began to experiment, drawing on ancient practices passed down by his ancestors. Slowly, he pieced together a ritual that transformed his nights and eventually his life. But what exactly did he do? How did he turn his restless mind into a sanctuary of calm? That brings us to the heart of his discovery, a practice so simple, yet so powerful, that it has stood the test of time. The monk's journey toward restful sleep began with a single question: what did my ancestors do when they couldn't find peace? He turned to the monastery's ancient library, a quiet room filled with scrolls and manuscripts passed down through generations. There, he found a text describing a bedtime ritual designed to calm the mind and prepare the body for sleep. It wasn't elaborate or mystical. It was grounded in simplicity, something anyone could practice. Intrigued, the monk decided to try it that very night. He started by dimming the lights in his room, creating an atmosphere of stillness. Then, he lit a candle, a symbol of clarity and focus, and placed it on a small wooden table beside his mat. As the flame flickered softly, he sat cross-legged, closed his eyes, and began to breathe deeply. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This rhythm, known as the 4-7-8 technique, slowed his heart rate and signaled to his body that it was time to rest. Finally, he visualized a peaceful scene, a calm lake surrounded by towering trees, their leaves whispering gently in the breeze. He imagined himself there, sitting by the water, feeling the cool air against his skin. For the first time in years, his mind began to quiet. The racing thoughts didn't disappear entirely, but they softened, like waves retreating into the ocean. At first, the monk wasn't sure if this ritual would work. But over time, he noticed a shift, not just in his sleep, but in his entire outlook on life. By dedicating just 10 minutes each night to this practice, he transformed his relationship with rest. Sleep became less of a battle and more of a gift, one he looked forward to each evening. This ritual wasn't just about closing his eyes. It was about opening his heart to the present moment. And yet, as powerful as this practice was, its true magic lay in the details. Details that anyone can incorporate into their own lives. So, what exactly are these steps? And how can you make them your own? That brings us to the heart of the monk's teachings, a guide to calming your mind and body before bed. So, what exactly did the monk do to transform his sleep? Let's break it down step by step. A guide you can start using tonight. Step 1. Create a calming environment. The first step is all about setting the stage for rest. The monk dimmed the lights in his room, signaling to his brain that it was time to wind down. Bright lights, especially from screens, can trick your body into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. If you don't have control over the lighting, consider using a small lamp or even a candle. The soft glow creates a sense of calm, helping your mind shift from activity to stillness. Step 2. Practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Once the environment is ready, the monk turned his attention to his breath. He used a technique called 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. This pattern slows your heart rate and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and relaxation. Try it now. Inhale, hold, exhale. Feel the tension melting away with each breath. Step 3. Visualize a peaceful scene. Finally, the monk closed his eyes and visualized a serene image, a calm lake, a starry sky, or a quiet forest. Visualization isn't just a mental exercise. It's a way to transport yourself out of the chaos of daily life and into a space of peace. Picture every detail: the sound of water lapping against the shore, the scent of pine trees, the cool breeze brushing against your skin. This step helps redirect your mind away from racing thoughts and toward tranquility. These 3 steps, calming your environment, regulating your breath, and visualizing peace, are simple but powerful. Together, they create the perfect conditions for restful sleep. And the best part, you don't need any special tools or hours of practice. Just 10 minutes before bed can make all the difference. But as transformative as this ritual is, its impact goes beyond just sleep. It teaches us something deeper about how we care for ourselves and how we honor the sacred act of rest. That brings us to the next layer of the monk's wisdom. Why sleep is more than just a physical necessity. It's a spiritual practice. Sleep is more than just a biological need. It's a sacred act of self-care. The monk came to see it as a form of surrender, a way of trusting that the world would keep turning even while he rested. In our modern, fast-paced lives, we often treat sleep as an afterthought, something to sacrifice for productivity or entertainment. But the monk understood that true productivity and true joy comes from being well rested. Think about it. When was the last time you truly honored your need for rest? For many of us, sleep feels like a luxury we can't afford. We push through exhaustion, relying on caffeine or sheer willpower to get through the day. But what if sleep isn't a luxury? It's a foundation. What if rest isn't something to earn, but something to embrace? The monk's ritual taught him to approach sleep with intention. By dimming the lights, focusing on his breath, and visualizing peace, he wasn't just preparing his body for rest. He was preparing his mind for renewal. He began to see sleep as a gift, a chance to reset and reconnect with himself. And in doing so, he discovered something profound. When we honor our need for rest, we create space for clarity, creativity, and joy. This perspective shifts how we think about sleep. It's not just about closing your eyes. It's about opening yourself to the present moment. It's about letting go of the day's burdens and trusting that tomorrow will come. No matter what happens tonight, sleep becomes less of a chore and more of a practice, a way to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. And yet, as powerful as this mindset shift is, its true beauty lies in its simplicity. You don't need to overhaul your life to experience it. Start small. Dedicate 10 minutes tonight to the monk's ritual. Dim the lights, breathe deeply, and visualize peace. Notice how it feels to approach sleep with intention. Over time, this small act can transform not just your nights, but your days as well. Because when you sleep well, you live well. And that brings us to the final reflection, a reminder of why this practice matters and how it can inspire you to prioritize what truly matters in life. As we come to the end of this journey, take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered together. The monk's ritual wasn't just about sleep. It was about presence, intention, and self-care. By dimming the lights, focusing on his breath, and visualizing peace, he transformed his nights, and in doing so, transformed his life. These steps are simple, but their impact is profound. They remind us that rest isn't something to fight for or force. It's something to create, moment by moment. When we honor our need for sleep, we honor ourselves. And when we honor ourselves, we create space for clarity, creativity, and joy. If this story resonated with you, I'd love for you to join our growing community of mindful seekers. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video like this one, where ancient wisdom meets modern living. And if today's message helped you see sleep in a new light, give this video a thumbs up. It's a small action, but it helps others discover these teachings too. Before you go, I want to leave you with this thought. Sleep is sacred. It's the foundation of everything we do, yet it's often the first thing we neglect. But what if tonight, instead of rushing through your bedtime routine, you paused? What if you took 10 minutes to dim the lights, breathe deeply, and visualize peace? Small actions lead to big changes over time. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for taking this step toward better sleep and a better life. Until next time, sleep well, live fully, and keep reflecting.